What is up, side hustlers, entrepreneurs, business builders, and dream makers? Welcome to Set Your Side Hustle Podcast, episode 44. Today is going to be a very special episode because, honestly, this is something that probably should go on a Marketing Monday, but I was just inspired and I'm going to do it now. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to be very special, very unique. It's going to be very different because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take full advantage of the technology available to me, and I am going to be using Zoom recording this episode. And so those of you who are watching on YouTube, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to walk you through a process. And those of you who are listening through Spotify or any other podcatcher, well, I'm going to do my very best to describe exactly what I'm doing. And if there's any gaps, then just go watch the YouTube video as well. Because today I want to talk to you about how we can actually run numbers for Google Ads prior to ever spending any money on Google Ads, so that we can very quickly determine whether or not this is something we should be pursuing in this specific market with like our budget, all those constraints, right? So the cool thing about Google Ads is that we actually just have the tools available to us to where we can find out the information we need prior to running the ad. And so I'm just going to share my screen. I'm going to walk you through doing that with a hypothetical metaphorical example. Okay. So with that being said, it's going to go share the screen now, and we're going to get into that fun game of me trying to describe this process to you. Okay. So I decided that that would be kind of fun if, for the example, I used the term funnel, but what I'm actually going to be targeting is actual physical funnels. And then we can kind of walk through this process. So first thing I want you to notice, if you've never seen this before, is on my Google here, I have details that you don't normally see on Google. I have this trend data for funnel. I have down here, I have this trending keywords. And up here, right underneath the search bar, I have this volume, CPC, and competition information. So the reason that I can see all of that just right here on my Google search is because I pay for a tool called Keywords Everywhere. If you go to keywordseverywhere.com, you'll see that they charge $15 for 100,000 credits. They actually just raised the rate on that. They did not used to charge that much. It used to be $10 for 100,000 credits, whatever. It's very marginal when you see how the credits are spent. I've been using this tool since it was a free tool, and now it is no longer a free tool, but you don't need to pay for Keywords Everywhere because you can actually get all of this data inside your Google Ads Manager as well. They make it available. It's just not as easy to use. So I'm paying for convenience here. So with Funnel, it told me the volume and the cost per click. That's the information I need. I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it onto a spreadsheet. On the spreadsheet, I've already got this built out where I have I have a list for what the keywords are. Next to that, I put down their volume, how many searches per month they get. Then I put down the cost per click. I've already built in the equations. I have something called a keyword cost cap. That is something where if every single person who searched for this term also clicked on your Google ad, how much would that cost you? And that's just multiplying the volume by the cost per click. Then over on the right here, I have the total market volume. That's adding up the entire market volume for all of the keywords that I'm going to be targeting in the ad. And then I have the total market cost cap, which is just adding up all of the keyword cost caps. Finally, the reason that we want to know the cost cap is so that we can actually not in a generalized sense, but in a technically appropriate sense, figure out what our average cost per click is going to be. And we're going to find that simply by dividing our total market cost cap by our total market volume. And that'll give us our average cost per click that we can expect to be spending on our ads. So when we do this, this is going to, the reason we take an account for their volume is so that we can appropriate account for the percentage of people who are going to be clicking on it based on each keyword, because they charge by keyword. So with this first one, simply funnel, 301,000 searches per month. So funnel 301,000, and the cost per click on that was 79. And I'm just going to make this column also be money. And this column, I like commas, but that's okay. All right. So now with Keywords Everywhere, instead of coming up with other searches that I could use, I can just go down to the trending keywords and find the relevant ones, and long form keywords as well. So trending keywords, because funnels like funnel cake. So there's elephant ear food, there's redback spider for some reason. There's a lot of things in here that aren't actually gonna be relevant to what I'm trying to sell, but silicon funnel is probably relevant to what I'm trying to sell. Let's see. So a silicone funnel, am I selling a silicone funnel? For argument's sake, let's say I am. So that search volume is 1,300 and it's 9 cents cost per click, which is cool. So how do you spell silicone funnel? Control copy. So I'm going to put silicone funnel here, and I'm going to put 1,300 volume and a 0.09 cent cost per click, very low cost per click. This would be a great thing to sell if you were selling it. It'd be very easy to be profitable on your Google ads on that. Now, from that, we can actually kind of follow the rabbit hole, and we can see, so flexible funnel is one that's searched a lot. Form a funnel, classical funnel for automotives. So let's do flexible funnel. Flexible funnel gets us a decent number of searches. Flexible funnel is at 3,600, and that's 20 cents. 3,600, 0.20, right? Flexible oil funnel. Nothing else here is getting a ton of search traffic, so I'm going to ignore that because for my example's sake, I want things to be comparative. So let's see, what else can we find? Wide mouth funnel. That's probably it. That's probably what we're looking for. Okay, wide mouth funnel, copy. Oops. A wide mouth funnel is getting us 1,300 searches at 22 cents. 1,300 at 22 cents cost per click. Okay. And we'll do one or two more. We'll just see what other good examples we have in here. Mini funnel. So mini funnel. And again, this is just an example. I just picked a random product, right? Like, obviously you're only going to want to use keywords that are appropriate to whatever it is that you're doing. And so some of these that I'm picking on might not be the type of funnel that we're selling, so we might not use those keywords. But just as a example, just to give an example, we're just going to be using the ones that are convenient. All right, and I'll search for one more. I'll see if there's any other large funnel with hose, extra large funnel plastic. And we'll just see if there's maybe one more that I can grab. So I don't see any other ones that I'm going to grab. So we're just going to use these ones for our example. And because I already built everything out, well, we can see that somehow my equation is broken, which is fun. Oh, it's just the wrong column. Yeah. This should be the keyword cost cap. So that should be D. And that should be fixed. Okay. So what we found is that our average cost per click is actually going to be 77 cents. Cool. Now with if I'm using these five keywords, and that's what I'm targeting, then I can expect 77 cent cost per click on average, and then I can just figure out what should I expect from there. So for example, if your landing page, I'll write out these numbers really quick. The average landing page on the internet converts at about 3%. Okay. Marketers who know what they're doing tend to say that, your baseline should be 10%. And I have landing pages on Google Ads that constantly convert at 20%. Sometimes you can get higher, but for example's sake, let's just argue with those three. Okay. So if I have a 77 cost per click, and then I have a conversion rate of 3%, what I can do is I can say, take my cost per click, which is on G7, and divide that by 0.03, which is 3% as a decimal. Or I wonder if it'll translate that. If I could divide that by I16. Yep. All right. So that's telling me that at a 3% conversion rate, it's going to cost me about $25 to sell a funnel. So you can see that these funnels are not selling for that much, right? These funnels are like a couple bucks a piece, right? So that suggests that we don't want to run ads for our funnels if they're not converting at higher than 3%, right? Okay, cool. So, well, what about a 10%? It's going to be G7 divided by J16. Okay, so that gets at 10%, that gets us down to $7.75. I'm doubting that they're having high enough profit margins on these to where that's profitable as well. So we're probably going to need something that's converting at a higher rate for Google Ads to make sense here, right? Now, one thing that's cool is that also when doing this test, we can see whether or not people are actually running ads for our offer. And so if people are running ads, that's a really good hint that these ads can't be profitable. Just a good thing to keep in mind. Let's do that last one, which is going to be that 20% mark. So that's going to be G7 divided by K16. And at 20% conversion rates, it's going to cost us less than $4 to sell a funnel through Google Ads. Literally a physical funnel, right? So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. Now, here's the cool thing about what I just did. Took a couple minutes, walked you guys through it, literally did it with you with a silly example. Maybe that's your business. Maybe you sell funnels. Maybe that's a perfect example, exactly what you needed. But this is applicable to any business that you can reasonably run Google Ads for, and you can reasonably run Google Ads for most businesses. So I wanted to share this because I had a couple conversations about it recently, and so it made it front of mind. And I thought this is great, and technology totally allows me to actually show you guys how to do this. It's not hard, but the good news and the bad news. Here's the bad news. It is a math problem. The good news, it's just a math problem. It's such an easy way to know whether or not you should run ads on your business. So there you have it. That's what I have for you guys today. Tomorrow's super exciting because tomorrow we have the interview with Nathan Hirsch going live. And so you're not going to want to miss that. It was an amazing conversation that Nathan and I had, and I want you to be a part of it. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe and you do all the things you need to do so that you can make sure that you listen to tomorrow's episode. It's going to be good. Love you guys so much. See you tomorrow. God bless.